Hello everybody, Michael Bedell here with Best Paw Ford Dog Training, Hatboro, Pennsylvania. What I wanted to talk about with you today is the human side of your dog's behavior change, right? So there was this old thought out there that it only takes humans 21 days to change behavior, right? Well, that was found out not to be realistically true. With some things, it might only take you 21 days. However, for things like eating fruit every day or jogging, it was found that it actually takes you 66 days. And the thought that if you missed a day, all was lost was not necessarily true, but if you believed that, then it was harder for you to get back on your new behavior change path. So, 66 days for something as simple as fruit or jogging, right? That's a pretty good amount of time if you're consistently taking the action to change behavior. Why does that apply to your dog's behavior change? Well, because in order for you to change your dog's behavior, you have to change your behavior, right? Whether it's being more confident while handling the leash while your dog's reacting, or it's not freaking out, causing your dog to freak out, right? Or it's just getting in the repetition, or it's changing your focus or frame of mind from paying attention to what the dog's doing that you don't like to paying attention to what the dog is doing that you do like, so that they display more of what you do like. It takes focus. It takes daily focus, which is not always easy, guys, but not impossible either, right? And no matter what path you take in your training, it still requires you to change your habits, your behaviors, in order for your dog to succeed, okay? So, what I really want to focus on is what are we doing every day that makes sure our dogs are successful, right? Are we taking the time to work the behaviors at the door? Are we taking the time to pay attention to them, or that polite sit they did to get our attention, instead of grabbing our pants or whatever it is? Because if we're not, then we're not setting our dogs up to succeed, right? So what are we doing to ourselves? Like, what are we doing to improve ourselves so that our dogs improve? I can't tell you how many times I've met, human dog teams whose behavior really mirrors each other. The dog behaves a lot like the owner does, right? And the owner's not happy with how the dog's behaving. And then I'm sitting there looking at the relationship and saying, but this is also how you behave, right? So, we have to pay attention to ourselves. Is there something that we're doing that causes this? Is there, how do we handle conflict? Are we quick to get agitated and aggravated? Is our dog quick to get agitated and aggravated? Or when we get angry, does our dog seek, distance? Do they try to get away from us, right? So there's so much to the human side that we want to pay attention to, that if we just make little tweaks to, we're going to be far more successful with our dogs and have behaviors that we want out of our dogs simply by making that internal change, okay? A lot of my work in appointments is teaching people how they have to be in order for their dogs to be successful. Yes, we do the repetitions and we want to build the communication, and sometimes it's obedience, other times it's just rules, boundaries, showing the dog what's expected. But a lot of times it's teaching the people how they need to be an effective dog handler, right? I used to believe that if you just understood how to handle the predator in front of you, you probably don't really have to do a lot of training at all, because you just get it. You know how to set your dog up to succeed, and a lot of those guidelines that you're going to put in place is going to lead your dog to be successful, right? So sometimes it's zeroing in on our level of awareness. Are we actually aware of what's causing our dogs to behave the way they are? While we're walking and looking at our dog, are we using our hearing to get more information? Are we trusting our intuition and feeling what's behind us, right? Are we using our eyes, at distances to try to grab, whatever it is before our dogs do, right? So that we can effectively use our communication. Because if we're constantly reacting to what our dogs are doing, then we're already behind the eight ball, and likely we already let them do the behavior that we don't want them to, all right? So I just want you guys to think about that a little bit, and in the comments below, go ahead. What are things that you think you can change about yourself that will help your dog? Or what are things that you have already changed? And how long did it take you? I want to know these things, and I would love to hear your guys' feedback. Again, this is Michael with Best Paw 4 Dog Training, Hatboro. Get out there and get it done today, guys.